Next level taken here, a somber next level taken in response to the end of content, basically the end of the road for Friday the 13th, the game. Uh, Primarily online experience, although they did add some single player modes in there, like offline bots and the single player DLC. All right, now, as many in the community may be aware, a legal claim was made which could affect all future Friday the 13th intellectual property. This is coming from Gun Media. Although in the past the game has not been subject to any such claim, new content material going forward will be affected. An initial decision in this case was expected in October of 2017, but the decision has yet to be issued. The court review of the legal rights is in process, but final resolution may take some time. Until the claim rights can be dismissed or resolved, no new content can be released. That's right. No new maps, no new counselors, no new emotes, no new clothing packs, no new kills, no new Jasons, no new anything. They are saying that they will get updates and patches to fix bugs, and that there will be a patch for dedicated servers. But that whether that happens still remains to be seen. I'm doubtful of it, but we'll see. When we originally learned the game fell within the crosshairs of this legal dispute, we tried to balance the creation of new content requested by our fans against the maintenance and bug fixing that our community expects and deserves. We attempted to do both within the limits of the legal case. Let me stop right there. I believe what the issue is the team at Gun Media, Elphonic. They are they're small, and I believe that they weren't able to handle the player base that came in initially, and they weren't able to handle the amount of bugs and glitches and people taking advantage of exploits, and they weren't prepared. And that's what I think. A larger team, a larger company would have handled it better. Just my thoughts. It says here that they've now been forced to accept the lawsuit and makes future content for the game, including alternate play modes, new playable Jasons and counselors, and new maps, unfeasible now or in the future. So why the heck did you tease all that stuff months and months and months in advance? It's a little fishy to me. I'll get into that in a second. I'm a little perturbed. I'm a little PO'd about this. Although the listed content types will be affected, they remain committed to launching dedicated servers on the console platforms and providing the continued maintenance and bug fixing important to supporting the fan base. So, what does this mean exactly? These are their words now, not mine. There will be no additional content added to Friday the 13th, the game. That includes Uber Jason, the Grendel map, Jason kill packs, clothing emotes, new counselors. I already said that. This is coming from Gun themselves. Friday the 13th, all related characters and elements are trademarks of and copyright New Line Productions, Inc. and Horror Inc., etc., etc. Um, there is a lawsuit going on with Friday the 13th, the franchise, but I call a little BS on I find it funny that this just affects it now and not, a year ago or 6 months ago. And if that's the case, I challenge Gun Media and Nilphonic to put up the cease and desist letters or whatever is going on over there. Let the fans see it because I call BS on it. I don't believe it. And here's why I don't believe it. I think that they saw that the game is a sinking ship and they want to get off before it sinks to the bottom. Lawbreakers, the game was shut down. The entire studio was shut down. Excuse me. Nobody plays Lawbreakers. It was like 20 people on at one point in time. Jason's not that bad. Friday the 13th not that bad. But here's the issue. On Steam, May of 2017, 16,000 peak for Friday the 13th. Dead by Daylight's peak when it first came out in June of 16 was 18,000. So, roughly the same thing. A year later, Friday the 13th had like 2,000 less, but that's not bad considering they already had competition that was established. All right, so Dead by Daylight, the numbers went up and down 23,000, 42,000 peak numbers. We're talking about Steam here, by the way. 31,000, 23,000. I think it went as low as 17,000, which was, let's see what month that was. That was back in April of 2017. So that was their off period. And the average players for that point in time was like 8,400. Right now, the last 30 days, last 24 hours, Dead by Daylight's peaked at 22,000. There were 10,000 people playing 8 minutes ago. This is all on Steam, and they had a 42,000 all-time peak. In the last 30 days, they've been averaging 15,000 players with a 36,000 population peak. Now, Friday the 13th, the game. Okay, the last month they were averaging 730, not thousands, 730 people with a peak of only 2,000 for months and months and months. While Dead by Daylight's been getting, 20, 30, nearly 40,000 players. Friday the 13th's been lucky to get 2,500. November and October of 2017 weren't too bad with 4,000 and uh, roughly 4,000. But obviously the numbers are poor for Friday. Um, you had 475 people playing. You had 772 in the last 24 hours. Again, they had a 16,000 peak, so they had people from the get-go, and they lost them for whatever reason. June, the next month, they went from 16,000 to 10,000, and then July began the free fall down to 5,000. Probably all the glitches and the bugs, the responses. They never were able to gain those people back. The new fans couldn't offset the loss of the original fans. Meanwhile, Dead by Daylight, obviously has made a name for itself. Um, it's disappointing. But I think the real reason they're ending the content is because no one's playing the game, and that's just on Steam. So PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, I would say, we don't have the numbers. I wish we did. I wish they had it for every game because honestly, I'm not going to plunk down $60 on a game or 30, 40, 50, 60, whatever, physical or digital. If there's only 20 people playing online at any given time. I want to see that, I want to get into a game, get into a match right away. I don't want to wait. So if a game is really not that popular, and it's also going to make me think, well, why isn't it that popular? Why is nobody playing that game? It could be a great game, but if nobody plays it, Rocket League. Actually, there was a PS3 game uh, before Rocket League, basically the same game, but the name was different and a couple differences. But basically, the gameplay was exactly the same, but nobody knew it existed. Nobody played it, so it wasn't worth buying. So that's what I'm saying. If the game could be the greatest game in the world, but if nobody knows it exists, nobody plays it, then it's just not going to be worth picking up. Rocket League, obviously, everybody plays it. It's worth picking up. So with Friday the 13th, the game losing all of its content, how does that make you feel? Me, it makes me upset. I'm going to continue playing because I'm close to getting that platinum. I think it's going to be harder to get it now because less people are going to be playing it. I think people are going to be trading it off. The ones that have physical copies, the digital, you're stuck with it. But I think they're going to be uninstalling it. There's no new content coming. There's no new nothing. There's just more and more bugs every time. Every time they patch it lately, the last two patches have been disasters. I tried to defend them. I tried to, make excuses for them. But let's call it spade a spade. Total disasters on DLC. Just train wreck. A train wreck of a patch. And then another train wreck of a patch to fix that first patch that messed things up. That people never even asked you to fix certain things, and they did anyway, and they made it worse. So it's like, come on, really? So I think this is the end of Friday the 13th, the game, with no new content coming. They say for the foreseeable future, but who knows? Um, it says no new content can be released. I believe. I mean, it'd be funny if the court case ended tomorrow or next month or what have you. Does that mean they're going to come out with new content now? I kind of doubt it. Like I said, I think the low player count. I'm even having trouble finding players that are not on my friends list to join the game or to get new people to join the game. So it used to be we'd have a match with 7, 8 people, easy as pie, quickly. Now it's like, one player might come in, but we might go, an hour where there's only like 5 or 6 counselors. And that was unheard of months before. Even unheard of like in October of 2017, and that's when the physical copy hit. Um, and it's also around Halloween time. That didn't hurt. And there was a Friday the 13th that month, I believe, as well, which is when the game launched. I'm pretty certain of that. That's when I remember picking it up. But I'm pretty perturbed about this news, and I challenge Gun Media to come up with the documentation saying that they need to pull this stuff. And I also don't know what this means for those that haven't purchased certain DLC. Do you need to purchase it now before they pull it off the store? Are they going to do this quietly, and yank the emotes and the swimsuit packs and all that? I have most of the DLC. I don't have the swimsuits. That's why I bring that one up in particular. But I'm very sour about this. I will broadcast Friday the 13th the game here on out. Probably not as much, but I do plan on playing it. I'm just a little upset, more than a little upset, about the response to this. And I mean, they could be right. They could be telling the truth, but I kind of don't think they are. I kind of think they're being a little shady about it, and they're ready to just like pull out. They're not making enough money. They see that the revenue is going down, the player base is going down, even on the consoles. I wish we had solid numbers. I don't know why we don't have something like that. It would only benefit the consumer. You know, why would I want to buy Lawbreakers on PS4 if there's only 13 people playing? I want to know that before I go into, you know what I'm saying? Anywho, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Gun Media, I'm wagging my finger at you right now. Come up with documentation. Just shut me up. Prove to me. I hope somebody else, a bigger YouTuber out there, sees this or is thinking the same thing I'm thinking in my head and wants to see proof. Because I don't believe it. I know there's a lawsuit going on. Maybe there are some kind of legal implications, but I just don't believe that's the reason why they're not going to look at any of the DLC. Maybe it was too challenging to have the new map in space because you gotta. It's a whole different dynamic. So maybe it just wasn't worth it to spend those resources, that expense, when there's nobody playing the game. If it wasn't such a buggy, glitch-filled, exploit-filled mess, then maybe more people would be playing the game. With that said, it's still enjoyable, especially with friends, but most games, I mean, you can play the worst game in the world, and as long as you got friends around, it still makes it better. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. It's been Next Level Taken. Until next time.